So this is just a short video to demonstrate how to program the 12 button remote controls to the 32Q firing system, because I know some of you have had a hard time with that. So it's very easy. All we do is just make sure that the system is in the on position. So you can see I'll switch it on now and we'll get the voltage readout on the display. Then you just make sure that the fire select switch is in fire position, and you should see the fire mode light come on there. And then the next thing we do is just make sure that our remote control is on by sliding up the switch on the side. And all we'll do now is press and hold the learn button until the learn light comes on. And then as soon as the learn light comes on, we let go of the learn button and we immediately press and hold any button on the remote control. Now what this will do is this will then teach the receiver the specific code in this remote control. You'll see the learn light flash a few times and then go out, and that now means that the remote control is securely paired up to the receiver. So let's go ahead and do this now. So I'm going to hold down the learn button until the learn light comes on, and then press and hold a button on the remote. You can see the learn light has flashed a few times and gone out, so I can now let go. And now this remote control is securely paired up to this receiver. So let's say we want to fire a cue. Now let's fire cue C1. I'm going to hold button C like that and then press button 1. And you can see there that Q1 just fired. So let's say I want to go ahead and fire cue C2. I can just go ahead and press 2 and it will fire. The same with 3. If you want to change groups, you just press and hold the group button. So for instance, to fire cue D1, you just press D and then we press 1. And you can see there cue D1 fired. So we can go ahead and do exactly the same thing with the sequence remote control. Now the sequence remote control, if you remember from the other video, is just the remote control that you use to trigger a sequence that goes through all the cues with the same time delay between each cue. So it's the same procedure. You just make sure that the power switch is up and on the remote control. We're going to press and hold the learn button until the learn light comes on, like that. We'll press and hold any button on the sequence remote, and you'll see the learn button has gone off, and the system has actually gone through a sequence because of course it's just learned this remote control. So for example, if you want to fire every cue in sequence with say 0.2 seconds between each cue, you just press the delay button that says 0.2. And you can see here the cues are firing in sequence with 0.2 seconds between each cue. Now interestingly, there's also an all fire button on this remote, and as you would expect, when we press it, all the cues fire. So the final thing I want to show you about this system is how to delete a remote control from the receiver. So what we've just done is programmed this receiver with these two remote controls, which is the standard remote control and the sequence remote control. But what if you wanted to use different remote controls with the same receiver, or perhaps you want to use these remote controls to control a different receiver and not interfere with this one? So all we need to do is remove the coding from the receiver. We just do this by pressing and holding the learn button until the learn light comes on. And we're going to keep holding the learn button until the learn light flashes 3 times and goes out. And now the receiver has actually been cleared of these remotes. So if I go back to the standard remote control, you can see that I've got it in the on position. I'll select the fire group, then I'll select a cue, but nothing happens. Now it's exactly the same with the sequence remote. You can see the remote is on. We'll try to fire a sequence, but nothing's happening because we've cleared all of the remotes from the receiver's memory.